Hello punters and welcome to another racing preview video. Of course, we're looking at the Melbourne Cup meeting tomorrow at Flemington. What a terrific day of racing it is. A fantastic carnival. It's day number 2 of the Flemington Spring Carnival, and obviously had a fantastic day on the weekend on Saturday, both at Rose Hill and also at Flemington on Derby Day. Had a lot of good winners, a lot of good prices. We fell just short a couple of times. I mean, I've made Sunlight as a massive get on the Golden Eagle. Unfortunately, she just couldn't quite see out that 1500, which was my one concern, but she held on for the place of the $7. Had Southern Moon in for second in the Derby at the $19. So hopefully it can carry on and take that bank as well as all the few winners that we did have into this Flemington card tomorrow, and we can find a few winners and hopefully find the winner of the Cup. The Cup race itself, I'll be doing a bit of an extended video with this one and a bit of an extended race preview for that particular race. Obviously, so many runners to get through. Everyone has their sort of horses they're keeping an eye out. I've at the moment sort of narrowed it down to probably 8 to 9 chances at this stage. And then obviously just a process of elimination. I'll just take you through as well. I might actually take you through the process of what I'll be going through as of tomorrow, because it really does come down to a day decision with some of these big races. So we're just going to get straight into the first race of the car. We're going to try and breeze through some of these races as quickly as possible, get into the Melbourne Cup so we can look at it in depth and I don't waste too much of your time. First race of the card, 2-year-old fillies Group 3 race. It's the Daily Ottawa Stakes over the 1,000 metres. And a lot of these on debut, so it's a tough one to start off with, especially the soft track as well. And with the conditions at the moment, look, it's not a lot of rain about at the moment, but I'd say that we're still projected to get a few more showers. So I'd say that we can be a bit of confidence that we work with a soft range tomorrow. First race of the card, look, I'm actually quite keen on number 1, Amorosity here for Henry Dwyer and Ben Allen riding. I thought its jump out was pretty good. This filly had a Spirit of Boom and got barrier 6. I think it can handle the straight. I think it's drawn to get a really nice run of the race. A couple around it I think might go forward based on what I've seen from the trials. So I'm keen to have it on top ahead of number 8 Muntasira, who's had a bit of market support, and rightfully so. I mean, it's looking quite impressive coming to this affiliate of I'm Invincible. Linda Meach riding for Kieran Moore and Davey Eustace. So I've got that horse in for second. In for third, number 6 La Girl. I thought its work leading into this race been quite good. I have not a single doubt. Has a wide barrier, but I think maybe the soft track, it might not be that bad to be out on that side of the track. And Natural Will in the saddle is a big tick, and at $15, I think it's a bit of overs. Then in for fourth, another horse I didn't mind was number 16, Right the Score for Mick Price and Mick Kent Jr., Damien Oliver in the saddle. I didn't mind its trial at Moe over the 670 metres. It did some nice work late there out of Written Tycoon, this filly. So recapping the numbers in the first of the card for me, I'm keen to be at number 1, Amorosity, at a bit of each way value here. Not with a lot of confidence though. It's a pretty tough race to start off. In for second, number 8, Muntasira. In for third, number 6, La Girl. And in for fourth, number 16, Right the Score. Moving on to race number 2. It's a 1400 metre benchmark 90. It's the Grinders Coffee Roasters Trophy. Look at the speed map in this one. I'd say that Alpacem Reflectivity will go forward, and East India Man might be up there. It'll either be just in behind them in the box seat, or it'll press on for the lead if Reflectivity doesn't jump out. It might sit outside Alpacem. So not a whole lot of pace in the race, and I really want for Craig Williams here to follow East India Man around, just try and sit in behind. And if it can do that, I think it's going to be extremely hard to beat here. First up, Face Toss. Really good preparation last prep. Obviously, won first up at Scone in a Class 1. Then it went to Warwick Farm, finished 1.3 behind in and up. But then its best work was late. I mean, you look at the second to Call Me Royal at Rose Hill. That looks really good. And then obviously it was a sensational win beating Sequator on a heavy track at Rose Hill, and then came down to Flemington, was flying home late behind Twilight Run. So it's run at this track before, over the 600 metres, and obviously early stages of its career, it was finished by Poised to Strike over 1200. It's never run 1400 at Flemington, but I think first up here might read really well. So 2 starts first up for 2 wins. It loves running at these 1400 metre distances. So wet tracker, it's had 4 starts for 2 wins and a placing on the soft surface, and 2 starts for a win and a placing on the heavy surface. It's only ever missed a placing twice in its career, and so I think that this horse will run a good race here, and I'm happy to be with it first up here. This preparation in the second on the card. In for second, don't mind the chance. Number 2, I'll pass him here. I think it's got a bit of an each-way chance at the $23. It'll be on the speed. Doesn't mind running here at Flemington. It's had a win at the track before. Doesn't mind the soft going either. It's had 2 placings on it from 3 goes. Thought it was an okay effort, but against Parsifal at 100 to 1 at Moonee Valley. And third up here, I think we'll see a bit of improvement from this horse. And if it gets that easy time to speed with Mark Zara, could be hard to run down. So I think $23 is just a bit of overs there. In for third, number 5, East India Man, was very good last time out at Cranbourne, holding off Satori. Not too sure about that form, though, coming into this. And this horse has never won at the track from 4 attempts, and it's not a wet goer. So, for me, just a place chance for me for number 5, East India Man. The other one to give a decent chance to is number 3, Bravo Tango, who loves the wet track and is coming into this with a bit of form here, and it's again never won at the track from 5 attempts, but its last time run at Caulfield was terrific. Usain Bolt gave him a gap on that occasion. It ran on from the back. Prior to that, it was really good winning at Benello, and decent form race at that one at Benello, and carried 60 kilos on that occasion. So it's drawn to get a pretty good run in the race as well. So I'd say that it'll run a good race as well. Look, I've left number 1, William Thomas, out of the top 4, just simply for the fact that I know it's had a win on a soft track from 5, but it's just not as good on a soft track. And I thought it was okay at Moonee Valley last time out, and it was pretty good behind Tavasan at Cranbourne. I think maybe perhaps it's just had its chance. And barrier 3 on the inside, it gets back usually in its runs. It's going to need a little bit of luck, and has to carry 60.5. So I just would rather look elsewhere. But for me, I'm quite confident number 7, Face Off's here first up. I think it's got a great chance to win. In for second, number 2, El Paso, as I mentioned, each way chance. I think it's well over the odds. In for third, number 5, East India Man. In for fourth, in for fourth, number 3, Bravo Tango. Moving on to race number 3, it's the Mares race over 700 metres, the Tab Trophy. Look at the speed map in this one. Not a whole lot of speed. I don't think I'd say Extreme Pride and Linguist will probably lead. Aristocratic Miss slight push on for the lead. More Gate has shown a bit of pace in some of its races, so maybe it might go forward. You just see what they do with one more try off barrier 1, whether they try and get into a prominent spot. But not a whole lot of speed in the race. But I don't think that'll be much of a problem from on top here. I think it's just huge odds. Number 1, Atana at the 31s. I think that's a crazy price for this horse. I know it was a little bit disappointing first up at Caulfield, but when Savatiano just was so well rated there and just kicked away on the turn, gave nothing else a chance. In the Tristark Stakes. It's coming from Group 2 back to the Mares race against her own age. She's a very good horse. She was very good last preparation. She beat Eliphorus at Doomben over the 2,000 metres, and of course went into the Derby and finished last on that occasion, but had a problem. But it was really well supported in the market. Went round at 4:30 on that occasion. This horse is set 2 from 2, second up, and while, as I mentioned, I could see that it will be looking for further ground, I think the 1700 will be far enough, and I think for a horse of this class, with that second up record, she's won on her only start on a soft track. I don't think she's well over the odds at the 31, so I'm willing to have an each way crack at her. I think it's a nice price to have a go at. Ahead of number 7, Shawnee, who will appreciate coming back to Flemington. That she's a horse that loves running at this track. She's had 4 starts on it for a win and 2 placings. She's had 5 starts on the soft track for 2 wins, so she can get through the going okay. I think she can turn the tables on Romney Girl from last time out. Just didn't have a whole lot of luck there, and I think if it gets the luck this time around, which, yeah, again, she'll have the whole Flemington straight and wind up, she'll be very close in the finish. Number 6, Romney Girl, for the reasons just mentioned, has to be given a chance based on its performance last time out. Won at Randwick, of course, beat Shawnee on that occasion. As a proven wet tracker, it's had 2 starts on a heavy for a win and a place, and 4 starts on a soft for a win and a second. So I think this horse will handle the conditions no problem, and it's been flying so far as preparation. Hasn't missed a top 2 finish from 3. So I think it can run a good race again at the $4.80, $2 the place. $2 the place looks very appealing for me. Just got to deal with barrier 16. So Tommy Berry, but with not a whole lot of speed in the race, I'd like to see him maybe get it's a little more prominent rather than take it right to the back, but we'll wait and see how that pans out. And as such, for me, I just couldn't go with her this time round. I did have her on top last time out, and she saluted for me, but that wide barrier just concerned me a little. And number 10, see what she brings. I've got her as my 4th pick, but I think she's got a decent chance here with the Magic Man, Joe Moreira, in the saddle for Hayes and Dominic. She's flying as preparation. She was so good last time out in the Mares race behind Amangiri. That was a terrific run, and obviously she looked like she was going to win that race, and Amangiri found the kick and got home much of the delight of many punters around the country who backed a stack on Amangiri. And prior to that, it had 2 really nice wins at Kyneton and then also at Bendigo where it beat Sovereign Reward, and that's been a decent form race out of that. Has had 4 starts on the soft track for 2 wins, so this horse has got a good chance as well. I think they're the top 4 chances. It is quite an open race. So give one more try, a bit of a chance as well. As I said, just barrier 1 might work against it, but if Ollie's a bit prominent, it could get close to 7 starts at the track for 3 wins and 2 placings and 2 starts on a heavy for a win, and it's getting very close. It was very good last time out behind Spanish Reef in the ladies' vase, and gave it a bit of a chance that day. I was a bit disappointed didn't get into the placings, but it's also got a bit of a chance as well, I think, and Elithris has a chance as well. But in an open race, as I always say, I'll go with a bit of value, and I've gone with one here in Natana, number 1, at the $31. I think it's well over the odds, $8 a place, looks very appealing. In for second, number 7, Shawnee. In for third, number 6, Romany Girl. And in for fourth, number 10, See What She Brings. Move on to race number 4. It's the 2,800 metre, the Macca's Run Benchmark 96 race here. Looking at the speed map for this one. Looks to be a fair bit of speed, actually, for a 2,800 metre race. So I'd say Etta James, Alienated, usually goes forward. Big Blue likes to get out of the barriers and run. Frank is usually up there. Exemplar will be close. Cinder Wind will try and get across the outside barrier. So we could probably see a pretty good tempo here. And as such, look, I do think it'll set up nicely for the favourite Shared Ambition. It certainly is short enough, but it's showed in its starts to date that it's got a stack of ability. And I was against it last time out. It burnt me. And I'm not going to do that again here. I think it's got a huge chance. It's obviously, horses only ever lost once, and that was over in Ireland on a soft track, which is perhaps the one concern here. It was on a soft track, and it came 6th on that occasion in Ireland. So coming out of the soft, I'm just not 100% sure I want to go in at to this $1.75, but I definitely could see it's got a great chance to win. I mean, based off the talent and the form we've seen of it so far, it's got to be well within the chances. The other horse I want to give a bit of a mention to here is Big Blue for the Kira Mar Dave Eustace stable. We haven't seen it do much since it ran in Sydney and won that good race up there, but I think it might just have a reasonable chance here if it's able to roll into a nice position and get a bit of cover. It could run a good race here. It's a bit of each way odds, and from a betting proposition, it might be a bit of a better way to go rather than dive into the $1.70 about Shared Ambition. Ryan Moore's in the saddle. So a top jockey in. I thought it was okay last night behind Valak, and this is a horse that on the soft track excels. 10 starts for 4 wins and 4 placings, so very impressive for me. And at this distance, I've even missed a placing once from 5 starts. So perhaps from a betting perspective, I want to go with number 1 Big Blue, but I think Shared Ambition will be hard to beat. Number 4 Kapoor, the other Eustace runner, I think it's got a relatively decent chance here as well. I thought it was just okay in the Murtire Cup, but second up here onto a soft track, I think it'll be much better suited for this horse. It was first up off a 1,000-day break, so it's obviously going to take a bit out of that run and be much improved after that. And I thought maybe it might just be an each-way chance of $71. I think it was just a little bit of overs. The other horse I want to give a bit of a chance to was number 13, Kentucky Diva. She's been building towards a win. I was a bit disappointed she didn't get up last time out, beating it by Desert Path at Warwick Farm, but she's a horse that doesn't mind the soft tracks. Had 3 starts on it for a win and a placing, so give her a bit of a chance to run on late. But look, quite confident with number 2 Shared Ambition, but from a betting perspective, I'd rather go at number 1 Big Blue at the $23 and $4.80 the place. I think it's great each way value. In for third, number 4 Kapoor, and in for fourth, number 13 Kentucky Diva. Move on to race number 5. It's the Schweppervessen plate over the 1,000 metres. Look at the speed map here. Pretty nice addition to this race, this one. Hawker Hurricane, Assater, Sandbook, Hardy Lass, McLaren, Little Rich Boy, Young Liam. Can't be done. There's a lot of speed horses here. Flow Star from the outside. So they really will set it up for the back markers here. And it probably is a little bit expected, I guess, in a 1,000 metre dash. It'll be interesting to see on the day whether the back marks are making the ground on the soft track. That would be one thing we'll have to keep an eye out for. But horse I want to be with here is number 7 Espanola. I think it's got a good chance first up here. Looking at its prep last time out, it had a tick over run at Wagga where it won quite easily. Then Wentworth finished only 0.2 length behind Kubrick at Rose Hill. I think that's pretty good form to bring into this here. And it was pretty green last preparation, especially in that first up run. So it's obviously had a bit of improvement. They've given it a bit of time. In its 2-year-old campaign to finish third to Time to Reign, which is pretty good. Beat Fane, who's gone with it since, and finished behind United Conquer up the straight. So it has seen this straight before. and has had a win on a soft track. So I think it's good each way value at $10 and $3.50 to play. So I'm going to have number 7, Espanola, on top. And number 4, Ghana, who I think can improve off that run last time out at Morphettville. Comes back onto a soft track where it's had 3 starts for the win and 2 placings. It's never missed a placing. So from an each way standpoint, at the $9, $3.20 the place, again, a nice each way play that you could go with there. I definitely could suggest you have a go at that. The other horse I want to give a bit of a chance to is number 1, McLaren. Always thought this horse had a lot of ability. Comes onto a soft going track, which is much where it's seen its only win so far as preparation. That was, of course, in dominant fashion at $1.50. Got smashed on debut at Rose Hill. So it maybe coming back onto the soft track and the bit of give out of it will improve this horse. Again, $10, great value. And the other horse I want to give a bit of a chance to, also in my numbers, number 3, Can't Be Done, who was a model of consistency last preparation behind the likes of Star Surprise, beat King of Hastings, beat the Astrologist. So some really good form around there, and I think this horse can run a good race first up here, up the straight over 1,000 metres. So recapping the numbers here, number 7, Espanola for me on top, ahead of number 4, Ghana, in for second, in for third, number 1, McLaren, and in for fourth, number 3, Can't Be Done. Also give a chance to Mark Kavanagh's horse here, Santorini Summer. Showed some good form last preparation at Morphettville, so it could be an interesting runner coming to this. And they were both on wet tracks and it handled it perfectly, so we won't have a problem with the soft surface. And Hawker Hurricanes, another one I give a bit of a chance. There's only had the one start on the soft track and it won, so this horse could improve, and it was only just mowed down late by Tarry F. So coming back to that extra 100 metres might improve this horse as well. So real open race in the 5th on the card at Flemington. Moving on to race number 6 of the Jim Beam Stakes for the mares over 1,400 metres, Group 3 race. A really nice race, this one as well. Very open market. Look at the speed map, say River Jewel, Jamaican Rain will probably find the top. Victory Kingdom, Sweet Scandal will be around the mark, as will Tally Play. But I can see maybe Jamaican Rain, River Jewel leading this one up. Look, I think with the soft track, Jamaican Rain's pretty hard to go past here for me with Damien Oliver in the saddle. This horse loves a wet track. 4 starts on a soft for 3 wins and a placing. Was not too bad run first up in the Tristarc by Savatiano, as I mentioned previously in a couple of races prior to this one. That Savatiano just gave him a bit of a gap job there, so don't look at the margin too much. But I think this horse second up here will be a bit more improved. 5 starts for 2 wins second up, and as I mentioned, onto that soft surface, I think it'll be much more improved. $4 and $1.75 to place looks not too bad either. So we'll have it on top for me, ahead of number 3, Bella Martini, who I think I've always rated as a horse that's got a lot of ability. She's pretty good on the soft track as well. So 4 starts for a win and 2 placings. She was disappointing in that Tristarc Stakes, but she didn't finish too far off my on top selection of Jamaican Rain. And she can go back to the sort of form that she was only 3.4 lengths behind Sunrise. We know that's some good form. And Manicure, she's only 3 lengths off it first up last time out. But comes to a track that she has won at before, so perhaps we'll see a bit of improvement from her. And Barrier 2 looks very well suited. Number 2, Tally Play. Another horse I give a decent chance to. It's had 2 starts on a soft track for 2 wins. It's won here at Flemington before, over the 1,200 metres, beating Moonlover on that occasion. So far as preparation, 2 just fair runs. Can see a bit of improvement third up here. So I'm going to have it in for third. Good each way price at the $14 at Nash in the saddle. And in for fourth for me, number 4, Sweet Scandal. I think it can run a good race as well. So I've gone the top 4 at the top of the page. Again, another horse that has had 3 starts on a soft track for 2 wins. Was really good last night behind Tefano. We know that form's very good. Tefano came out, won the last on Derby Day on Saturday. And prior to that, it'd been improvement at Randwick, and the form of that race has been quite good. So the form around Sweet Scandal looks very good, and that's why I've got it in my numbers as well. The other chances that I do give, I think number 12, Genius Hope's a bit of each way value. Again, a horse doesn't mind a soft track and has been around the money the last 2 starts. And they just beaten by a smart horse and Smart Coupe last time out and beat Ambelieve the start prior at Ballarat in a benchmark 64. That horse has come out one at the Valley on Friday night. So form around Genius Hope's not bad for a $23 chance. Big step up in grade here though. Number 9, Victory Kingdom, doesn't mind a soft track either. And it's probably been a little bit unlucky. It's in a few of its starts and could bounce back to its best form, but I wouldn't take it based off what it's shown so far. And Into the Abyss has got some decent wet track form as well. So I'll give it a bit of a chance in the numbers as well. But for me, number 1, Jamaican Rain's the one to beat. In for second, number 3, Bella Martini. In for third, number 2, Tally Play. And in for fourth, number 4, Sweet Scandal. Race number 7, this is the Melbourne Cup over the 3,200 metres, of course, Group 1 race. We're really going to look into this quite in depth. Look at the speed map for this one. I'd say that Hunting Horn will find the top. Downdraft will be close enough. I'd say Magic Wand will try and get across from an outside barrier. Latrobe is usually quite prominent. Southern France Downdraft, they'll be close enough. And Hunting Horn obviously will press forward, as I mentioned already. And Finch will be pretty close to speed. So real interesting race here, obviously, as it always is, and you've just got to narrow down the chances. For me, the Cross Counter obviously won this race last year. Its form has been okay. I mean, it was not too bad carrying 61 kilos. It's carried 61 in its last 2 starts behind Stradivarius and Search for a Song, and hasn't been too bad. I mean, it drops that 4 kilos here, comes back to Flemington on a soft track. It's never missed a placing on a soft track from 7 starts, and it's still, this horse has only had 12 starts, so maybe we are forgetting Cross Counter a little bit here. I think maybe it might be an each way chance of $13. Number 2, Murder Glass, obviously the Caulfield Cup winner, was a terrific run, showed a terrific turn of foot, and that's the sort of thing that you want to see coming to Melbourne Cup, on that horse that can just get that sharp sprint to get a gap on its rivals and then put it away with its staying prowess. And this horse has got a lot of ability. As we know, the Japanese are flying this preparation, looking to take out all 3 of the main races in this spring carnival. So give it a bit of a chance. For me, 650, maybe a little short, considering the horses, I guess its target race is the Caulfield Cup. I know they did come over for the 3,200, but it's never run the distance before, so a bit of a query there. Number 3, Master Reality, has Frankie Dettori on, which is obviously a massive positive. It's a horse that has had 3 starts on a soft track for 2 placings. It's obviously run the distance before. It was only 1 length off Stradivarius in a 4,000 metre race, which reads pretty well. But it's also finished behind some horses in this race. It beat Mustajir first up over the 2,800 metres and back in May. Then it finished 5.3 lengths behind Twilight Payment, 4 lengths behind Southern France. So it's got form around all the sort of horses that we're looking at here, and it has that inside barrier, which makes it interesting because it'll be about to see if Dettori goes forward or not, or whether it sits back and maybe rides for a bit of luck. I'd suggest they might go forward. But number 4, Mirage Dancer. This horse was terrific first up in the Caulfield Cup. I know that Trent Buss and Natalie Young were really pleased with this horse. They thought it was a good chance for them. It's had 2 starts on soft track for the 1 placing. But I think it can improve off that first up performance. Had 3 starts second up for a win and 2 places. Never missed a placing second up. Again, though, a horse that's seeing this distance for the first time has only ever gone to the 2,400 metres before. So interesting to see if it can do the trip. But Ben Mallam, he has been so unlucky not to win the Cup the last few years. Maybe this could be his year at the $34. Number 5, Southern France, as I mentioned, beat Master Reality a few starts back. It comes in this, obviously hasn't had a run in Australia before, and it has run the distance, which is a big tick, and unfortunately it was when it finished 9 lengths behind Stradivarius, carried 61 kilos on that occasion. But look, you don't mind to go with horses that have run the distance before, unless you know that they can run it out, but a bit of a tricky gate as well for me. Hunting Horn was a good win at Moonee Valley, but for me, I don't see it running the distance here. I thought that was its race last time out. It's never won from 5 on a soft going, so for me, I'm willing to go past Hunting Horn. Number 7, Latrobe, obviously was given a bit of a chance this time last year, but they obviously came across, went to the John Cup, didn't win there. They then came out and finished behind Trap for Fools at Flemington and the McKinnon. Then went to Hong Kong, was a bit disappointing there behind Exultant, but it's had some decent form around the likes of Magical, which is really sort of the top of the line form, and Twilight Payment. Won at Ireland, in Ireland over the 2,400 metres, carrying 61 kilos, so gets a big drop in weight here. It hasn't seen the 55 kilos for a very long time. In fact, let me have a look. Hasn't seen it at all. Its prep, its lowest weight has been at 58.5. So it'll appreciate the drop in grade. It's just got a really wide draw to deal with. But if James McDonald can handle that wide draw, this horse got a bit of a chance. Number 8, Mustajir, Damien Oliver. He is flying this obviously spring carnival. He listened to an interview of him the other day. It was a terrific run in the Caulfield Cup. It really did hit the line well. They were hoping, that is, he and Chris Lees were hoping that it hit the line a little bit better. But I thought it was a good run on its merit there. And it's, again, a horse that's run to the 2,800. It's never gone to the mile and a half, but, the 2 miles. But I know, so I can see a bit of a progression in this horse, and if Damien Oliver can do it, he is the man. So, interesting runner there. Twilight Payment. Well, I'm not really sure why I saw it's $41. So I mentioned it's beaten a lot of these horses. It was just okay first up behind Search for a Song. Bit disappointing there, but it did carry 61 kilos. Comes down to 55. It's had 4 runs on a soft track for 3 placings and has run the distance before. That's the big key, and it's never missed a placing when it's run at the 3,200 metres. So I think this horse got a huge chance at the $41. Number 11, Finch, of course, ran really well in the Melbourne Cup last year. Has been in terrific form leading into this. Was excellent in the Caulfield Cup. Very good in the Turnbull behind Kingsville Dream. Then obviously beat Stampede at Randwick over 2,000 metres. They've set this horse for this race, and it'll be a top chance with Kerry McAvoy in the saddle. Of course, the big race jockey, he often does come out and win them, and he won't be surprised if he does it again here. He's won 2 of the last 3 Melbourne Cups. Prince of Aaron, number 11. Yep, number 11. Oh, sorry, number 12. Just loves running Australia. This horse, purely and simply, was really good being true self in the Geelong Cup. Prior to that was obviously a half length behind the Chosen One at Caulfield on Guineas Day. A terrific run there. That was the Herbert Power. So this horse has gained the start. Its soft track form's a little bit concerning, and it's has obviously never missed a place at the track from 2 goes. So it's got a good chance as well. Number 13, Raymond Tusk, is an interesting runner here. Jamie Spencer in the saddle. It has run the distance before, which is a tick. It was 3.3x behind DXB. Has had 3 starts on a soft track for 2 wins. Comes in this first up. It ran in August behind Mustajir. Finished 4th on that occasion. Absolutely rocking home from the back of the 61 kilos. That was impressive. Comes down to 54 here, which I really do like. So I think it's got a decent chance. Number 13, Raymond Tusk. And drawn okay, I think. I think that Jamie Spencer could be prominent from the barrier and get into a decent enough spot. Number 14, Downdraft, obviously the quick backup, won on Saturday, much to my delight with my tip there, beating Cariff. It was a terrific run. Comes to this track once again on a soft track, which it saw on the weekend, so bit of a tick there, but also the quick backup, you've got to ask if you can get through it okay, and some of the form around some of the others have been a bit better. Number 15, Magic Wand. Again, I was very keen on it leading into the Cox Plate, and it was a decent enough run, really didn't suit. It had every right to pull out of the race, but it sort of it kept going to the line. It's got a huge step up in distance here, though. It goes from racing 2,400 metres at its furthest to now 3,200. So big query there for me, but Ryan Moore's in the saddle. Noof Bosk, don't really look, obviously, if it gets to its best form, it could run okay, but it hasn't showed that this preparation. So I'm going to look past it. Number 18, Surprise Baby, probably one of the top Australian hopefuls here. Obviously comes to this, has run the distance before, winning an LA Cup, so that's a big tick. But barrier 20 is a bit of a disappointing barrier for it. But I think it's got a decent enough chance to run it in the top half of the field, perhaps. Surprise Baby. It'll be a great effort if it can do that. The other horse I want to have a look at. Sorry, this is taking a bit of time. I just want to just really have a good look through it all and give everyone a bit of a chance, a guide on who I think is the chances, and let you make up your own mind from there. But look, number 17, Sound. It was the one I skipped. Surprise Baby. Sound was pretty well spec'd going into last year's Melbourne Cup, but for me, I just can't take it on form. I don't really give it too much of a chance of the 100 to 1. Number 19, Constantinople, big chance. It was a terrific run in the Caulfield Cup. I had it on top in the Caulfield Cup and was quite disgusted with what I saw. But it's a horse that has had 1 start in a soft track for 1 placing, so a bit of an interest there. But this horse that doesn't usually miss a top 4 finish, so 9 starts. Only the 9 starts as it comes up to the 3,200 metres. It's an interesting horse that has a lot of progression. The Magic Man's in the saddle. Obviously finished second 2 years back on Heartbreak City, so he'll be looking to make amends for that. Number 20, Il Paradiso. I'll give this horse a huge chance. I think it's got the right sort of lead up to this sort of race, and 5.3x off Logican last time out, just the 2,900 metres. It's won over this distance before. It absolutely smashed them in Ireland. I know it wasn't necessarily a strong field. It was $2.10, but 12 lengths. I mean, you can't get much more impressive than that. And then it came out over 3,200 metres, finished 1.4 lengths off Stradivarius with this sort of weight. So that's impressive form for me. It's never seen a soft track, but it's had 2 starts on a heavy for 2 placings. And again, only the 9th start for this horse, so we'll see a bit of progression from it. Number 21, Still Prince. Well, obviously won the Andrew Ramsden to get into this race, and It's been a little bit disappointing this prep, but it comes back to a track it loves. Had 3 starts at Flemington for 2 wins and a placing, but it has never won on or placed on a soft track. So for me, look, it could run a good race. I don't think it'll be in the top 3 though. Number 22, the Chosen One. I think it's run its race so far, this preparation. No disrespect, great horse, has been flying, but again, has never had a place for a soft track. I don't really give it too much of a chance, a winning chance for me. Number 23, Van de Clare, another one of the top Aussie hopefuls, has run this disc before and won it up in Queensland. Won over 3,000 metres. Being Big Duke, who's no slouch at the big distance, and he's run some good Melbourne Cup races, so that's a decent form to bring into this, and he was very good in the Caulfield Cup, beating a length by Murder Glass, who's now the favourite, and Van de Clare goes around at $12, so he's not a bad price. He's just got the wide barrier to deal with, but Craig Williams, I'm sure, can handle it. Third up here, I think it's got one of the best Aussie chances here. Number 24, Youngstar, of course, ran terrific last year in the Melbourne Cup. Its recent run was very impressive behind Hush Rider. I think it perhaps is building towards something, and it is a soft tracker. It's had 7 starts on a soft track, 3 wins. Look, for me now, just to go straight into my numbers here, look, obviously it comes down to the day. I'll be keeping an eye on the weather, which it is raining outside right now. Not sure if you can hear that on the camera, but we'll be definitely working that soft range. Perhaps they're heavy, hopefully not. We'll hope to be on the soft track, but we want to keep an eye on the tempo early in the day, I guess the trend, the bias, see if there's anything towards the leaders, how they act up in the mounting yard. You want to maybe take your chances in there that I've given. I've obviously got them all ticked off who I think are the winning chances. I'll go down, look at the mounting yard, and then cross off the ones who just don't look right to me. But look, I'm very keen about number 20, Il Paradiso here. I think this horse has got a lot of upside. It's had 3 starts at the distance, but 2 this preparation at the 3,200. It won by 12 lengths. It came third behind Stradivarius, so 1.4, only 1.4 lengths behind. It would have liked to see a bit more in the last run on a firm track where it finished behind Logicam, but for me, this horse, we know get through the wet conditions. It's got a lot of upside. 52.5 kilos has worked really well over the last few years. I think $15 the price. It's been well supported in the market as well. I think it's got a great chance. So I'm going to put it on top. And at number 19, Constantinople, who's a model of consistency. If you want to have an each-way play, I definitely suggest that. I've seen that one of the bookmakers have got a special for it finish top 10. I think you can load up on that. That's the certainty. I think it's a very good chance to finish in the top 3. So I'm going to have it in for second. In for third, number 13, Raymond Tusk. I think this horse has a big each-way chance as well. Leading into this, obviously, it's got the wet track form. Comes into this first up. Drops in weight from last start. Looks really, really ideal for this horse out of High Chaparral. And then in for fourth, number 11, Finch. I think this horse has been building towards this race. Obviously, my one concern is perhaps its soft track form isn't as good as its good track, but it's been leading into this, and I've loved its runs leading into this sort of race. The other chances, as I mentioned, the big sort of winning chances I suggest are probably number 1, Cross Counter, again has a chance to go close again. Number 2, Murder Glass. Master Reality, I think, has got a bit of improvement in it. The other horse, look, Mirage Dancer was very good in the Caulfield Cup, I guess. Musajir was also impressive. But Twilight Payment's another one who I think's over the odds. I think it could be a really good chance leading this for Joseph O'Brien. It's had, as I mentioned, never missed a place at this distance, just never won on a soft track. If we get in that heavy range, I'll bump it into my top 4. So